What's going on, all you wild aviation enthusiasts out there? Your two favorite TV critics are back today, and we are back to review an Apple original series from Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, and Gary Getzman. They're the producers of The Band of Brothers and The Pacific. Now comes their third miniseries, a sequel to those. It's talking about the bombers during World War II. It's led by Austin Butler and Callum Turner in Masters of the Air.
Or Sunshine Fair. I think we may be done. We are going to sit here and take it. We're going to stick with our mission as long as we can fly. We won't go without a fight.
So yes, we were talking about Masters of the Air, led by a great cast. We also have Barry Keoghan in here. He's having a fantastic year. Saltburn as of late. Banshees of Inisherin from last year. So really, coming off some great performances. Of course, playing the Joker and Batman for that scene. Very memorable actor, up and coming, as is Austin Butler. Recognized for his role playing Elvis. You're still trying to shake the accent, but he is very charismatic as the lead in this series. He plays Major Gale Buck Clevin, and then you have Callum Turner as the other Major John Bucky Egan. So we have Buck and Bucky here, and they establish a relationship right from the start, very close. They're pilots, of course, known as the Flying Fortress, and they're going to have to fly these bombers over enemy territory during World War II. And it makes for a lot of action-packed and intense sequences where they're up in the plane and the flak is coming up, and they're seeing their fellow airmen get killed in action, basically, and a lot of them don't make it back to the airfield.
Yeah, and they keep it true to the time here, much like they did with Band of Brothers in the Pacific. They're up flying these planes and bombs and things going off, and you see like guys getting blown up and the planes getting blown up. It's very realistic. They keep it true to what happened back during the war. They were called the 100th Bomb Group, also known as the Bloody 100th, because of all the casualties. They weren't very good at this in the beginning. They get better at flying eventually and flying together as a team here, but in the beginning, not very good. And then episode 2 kind of dives into that more.
I liked episode 2 a little more than I liked 1. It felt like 1 was a little slow going, but once they got into the relationship between these characters in 2, and not only did they mix the action with that, but they also let the characters have some fun there during the scenes at the bar where they were talking to the British soldiers, and the British were telling them, you need to stop flying during the day and fly at night. You guys are taking way too many casualties. Well, that led to a fist fight between Barry Keoghan's character and one of the Brits, and Barry Keoghan knocks him out with one punch. That was a cool scene. But yeah, it's about learning lessons each time that they go up, and yeah, they lose a lot of people, and it's tragic and makes for some intense scenes up in there. You can imagine being with them, and them. This was obviously before computers or anything like that. All our instruments had to be watch like a hawk. If anything was off, they had to basically go on instinct and what they were trained to do. And there are a lot of situations where, engines would get hit and fail, and they'd have to figure out how to stay alive, basically. Very harrowing. And like I mentioned before, Austin Butler here and Callum Turner, those are your two leads, and they really do a fantastic job in this show. Austin Butler's chewing up scenery again. He looks like a movie star. He's got the great coiffed hair, perfect hairstyle, which is funny because even after he's flying and it shows him, it's still like perfectly gelled up, and not a hair out of place on these guys. But he's just charismatic, and he falls for this girl in the first episode, and it's the girl that was in 1883. I noticed, the blonde, basically an inspiration for him to get back alive, basically. And it's all about these, airmen becoming brothers, much like the Band of Brothers in the Pacific, where it's about how these guys are able to come together and work as one unit in order to survive, and haven't seen a lot of their fellows not make it back.
Yeah, it's all about the camaraderie here between these guys and what they gain over time, getting to know one another, coming from smaller parts of the U.S., going to bomber planes and bombing the Nazis, World War II, staying true to the history within that, and having Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg attached to the show like Band of Brothers and Pacific. We're going to have a realistic looking show, and the effects and the CGI in the show are incredible. Really brings you into this time period and really dive into the history and exactly what these gentlemen are going through. Super nervous and not sure if they're going to survive. And then you get to see the lighter side of these characters in episode 2. But yeah, I had a really great time with the first 2 episodes of this. Always loved, Spielberg history pieces, World War II. It's always very interesting. And yeah, another mini series that I'm having a great time with and can't wait to see where this goes. Really some powerhouse performances here with Austin and Butler. Loved him a lot. Barry Keoghan in a smaller part, but so far loving him, and Callum Turner's been really great so far too. Can't wait to see where this goes. So that being said, I'm going to give the first 2 episodes of Masters of the Air, currently streaming on Apple TV Plus. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 Barry Keoghan hairpieces.
I can't wait to see more out of this young cast. A lot of up and comers here. Callum Turner's on the up and up. Barry Keoghan, like we mentioned, Austin Butler, and then just a phenomenal supporting cast here too. Um, Dealing with this time where these guys, these young kids, basically had to go up and perform these dangerous missions and help win the war and make sure that the Nazis didn't control the world, basically. So, it's all about direction in the show too. It's fantastic. I noticed that the first couple episodes, and I think a lot of the episodes are directed by Cary Joji Fukunaga, who we remember did the first season of True Detective and at
Yes,
one time was attached to the It movies. Didn't do that, but yeah, I think he did one of the Bond movies too, didn't he?
he
One of the
did.
Daniel Craig Bond movies. So yeah, fantastic, and everything looked great and cinematic, beautiful. And in this, it's going to be a 9 episode miniseries here. Me and you had been thinking that it was a movie, but the 9 episodes are really going to give a chance to let us know these characters really well, what their goals are in life, what's keeping them alive, all that, and seeing their brotherhood, the bond grow stronger over these episodes. And we're going to learn a lot of history too. As always, these shows show you really important moments in history, much like Band of Brothers and the Pacific both did. This is going to show us some amazing times in history with the U-boats having to bomb the U-boats and really help win the war here. So I'm fully invested in it. It looks great. Apple TV Plus has a winner here. I'm already looking forward to the next episode. So with that being said, I'm going to give Masters of the Air episodes 1 and 2. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 Austin Butler hairpieces.
Really the writing and the performances here that's really selling the show thus far, and especially people that are fans of history are going to have a really great time with this. But we're interested in hearing from all you guys out there, you wild pilots. What did you like about Masters of the Air first 2 episodes? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite show on Apple TV Plus? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out these wild pilots on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for the latest, greatest TV movie news and reviews.
That's right. And you can catch these wild mavericks, these Top Gun enthusiasts, all week long on our YouTube channel. We're reviewing shows both new and old, as well as movies both new and old. And we've got some great ones lined up for this week. And we also have a podcast that's going to be coming up shortly. We're going to record that over the weekend. So we can't wait to talk with the other boys from the Cinephellas. And as always, we're going to have another fellas giveaway to announce very soon. So stay tuned to this here channel. And if you haven't already, please click subscribe. So until the next Cinephellas TV review, I'm Uncle Henry Keoghan.
And I'm Lieutenant Logan Myers, signing out until the next TV review.
Cheers.